up, guys? I'm Melissa, a sophomore here at Hutch. Welcome to my crib. Alright, come on in, guys. Here in the Arts AV house, we pride ourselves in being the best, so we show that we're the best. And these aren't just plaques on the wall, these are cash money prizes that you can win just from coming here to Hutch and learning everything you can learn in the Arts AV cluster. We've got so many right here, that's about $1,000, probably more. Mr. Johnson's gotten $800 just by himself, not counting all the students. Alright, so now we're going to go into the first room in the Arts AV cluster, and my personal favorite spot, the control room. Let's head in there. Alright, so in here we've got the latest, the greatest setup. In case you guys didn't know, we've got our very own news show, Hot Hit News, and this is where all the magic happens. Let's check it out. So this is my boy Taylor Gatto, senior here at Hutch. Taylor, what are you and Shayla working on right now?
We're just working on a Hot Hit News program. With this system that we have here, we can do anything you can imagine, live sport, broadcast. This is the same system the Miami Heat use, so you know what we're talking about there.
Sounds like we're pretty set up. So not only do we have this super cool switchboard that the Miami Heat also uses, we've got this dope audio board to make sure all of our anchors and everything sound really great. As if this wasn't cool enough, let's get into the main place. Let's hop on over to the studio. Alright guys, this is the main hangout, the main place where all the work gets done. Yo, we've got the coolest and the best lab setup in here, and it's all been put together by our super cool teacher, Mr. Johnson.
What's up, Melissa? What's up, guys? Welcome to my crib. Yeah, this place, we've got some cooling. We got screens. 70-inch 4K screen too. Monster screen. We've got monitors in the back booth and the side booth. We got so sick of our paper bulletin board, we put monitors in our hallway. All total, 1,111 inches of just computer.
That's a lot. Now we're in one of my most favorite places in the entire lab, the studio. In here we've got the best cameras in the state, the best lighting system, and 20 feet of green screen. Our Hot Hit News is filmed right here, and it's the coolest place in the entire school. Alright, and if you guys really just need to sit down and grind on your work, we've got these super cool back booths with dual monitors. And here's my boy Jaden. Hey Jaden, what are you working on?
I'm just working on some mobile so we can get out.
Alright, well it seems like you're doing a pretty good job. I'll let you get back to work. Here at Hutch, we use the latest and the greatest software. All the things that your favorite movies, posters, commercials were made on, we use this same editing software because we're the best. All right guys, let's head over into our equipment room. We've got everything under the sun in here. We've got microphones, we've got DSLR cameras, we've got video cameras, Canon, Nikon, Sony, we've even got freaking GoPros, and we want you to get the best hands-on experience with the greatest equipment out there. That's why you can check this out just during the school day, overnight, over the weekend, and even use them for your own personal projects. So not only do we make super cool news shows, videos, photos, and graphics in here, but we produce our very own yearbooks. In these yearbooks,
I'm sorry. Gotcha.
matchup for the championship game between the girls Hutchison Hawks and the Lady Valdez Buccaneers. It's going to be a good game. Both teams fought really hard to get to this position. Hutchison going from 4th seed all the way into the championship game for beating the 1st seed Galena yesterday. And Valdez always brings the heat, especially on their home court. We're really excited to see how this game goes, and I hope that everyone here can play a good, fair game, and we can have a lot of fun. So let's get into this championship matchup.
All right, thank you, Alyssa, and thank you again to everyone tuning into this, the Aurora Conference Basketball 2019 Girls Championship. So the atmosphere is electric in here, even though it's dumping snow outside. That's right, all of you in the lower 48. It dumped snow through about all of March in Valdez and all of Alaska. So my name is Benjamin Johnson. I am the Hutchison High School Stream Team Coordinator. I will be also providing a little bit of color commentary along with my comrade up here, Dwight Morrison, who all of you watch a lot of Valdez are very used to Dwight Morrison and his commentary. So I didn't want him to be up here alone for this very important championship game, so I'm going to be joining him. As you can see, the girls and the rest of the stadium here standing up as they're getting ready for the national anthem here. So we'll have a little bit of radio silence anyways while that goes on, but we'll keep the pictures rolling for you. All right, so a lovely rendition there, national anthem. That is the Valdez High School Pep Band. And as I look over there, I think a mix of some of the Delta High School Pep Band as well. So we're getting set here for the starting lineups. I believe the Hutchison High School will be going first here, as they are the visitors, the lower seed, usually the visitors at the tournament. And of course, Valdez is the host school, so make sure that they're home anyways, never mind their first, their number one seating as that is. So as Alyssa was kind of mentioning in that opener, it's been an interesting tournament so far, especially on the girls' side. A lot of parity, March Madness, if you will. So you can see coming out starting lineups. First out, or they're going to call all of them, I think. You have number 14, Peyton Manning, getting some love, or Peyton Taylor, that is, getting some love. There's Sydney Johnston. Bridget Charlie is number 33. Number 33 is Destiny Felix. And number 53 on your screen is Cora Black. And now you're going to get, I believe, to your actual starters. It's nice that they recognize everyone. They're going to go over to Valdez and get the support players, all important support players, of course. Number 5 is Ashley Ramuth. And then on screen number 12 here is Riley King. You also see the Valdez cheerleaders on your screen. They're doing a good job. Number 20, the freshman Ambrosia Woodgate. I'm not sure if she's related or not to Principal Woody Woodgate, but he's done a great job bringing us here, so we appreciate that. Number 22 is a freshman as well, Lucy Selinoff. I apologize for any mispronunciations of any of these names. Your junior, number 23, is Jade Holmes. And up next is going to be number 30, another freshman, Lily Alfaro. Her mom's actually the trainer here, been doing a good job. Number 33, Macy Hansen, is a junior. Number 34 is a sophomore, is Marianne Prax, listed at 5'6" on my roster. And rounding out your support role players, number 35, Jackie Stewart, the junior at 5'6" as well. All important, you know, sixth man's a big deal in these tournaments. Some, and look at the deep benches for both teams. You might be talking sixth and seventh man who can make a difference there. All right, now back over to Hutchison High School here. Back to Hutch on screens, number 3, Kiana Kriska. She has to be the main reason that Hutch got here. She was sharp shooting yesterday in the upset win over Galena. Number 10, Giovanna McCormick. She's a senior, 5'7", big-time player for the Hutchison Hawks. And junior, number 13, Brianna Major. She goes by Bree, listed as 5'8". She's kind of a height on that side. Now, number 23, just a sophomore at 5'9", Leah Rosenthal, getting her start here in the championship. And rounding it out is Desiree Titus. She's the big on the Hutchison High School team. She's listed at 5'9". She's a senior, number 44. Look out for her underneath the boards if Hutch is going to cause another upset. On the other side, number 3, Reese King, a quick player. She's just a sophomore, listed at 5'4". And I think I had those two backwards. Is actually now number 4 coming out, Jade Watts. So I was just a little bit ahead of in arena here. The senior listed at 5'5" is Jade, also quite quick. Number 14, Kylie Fletcher Gilbert. She's a freshman at 5'5", so a freshman and a sophomore in the starting lineup here. Number 15, Allie Sieber. This girl is trouble if you're a Hawks fan, as this girl can ball, also a sophomore at 5'11". And finally, number 32, Jillian Fleming, a junior at 5'4". Interesting to look at the matchup here. On the Hutchison side, you have 1, 2, 3 seniors. Meanwhile, just the one senior, Jade Watts, for the Valdez girls. Will it matter, any of this experience help Hutchison High School, some of that desperation? I mean, if you're a senior and you lose out in the region tournament, if you don't get first or second, that's the end of your season. Meanwhile, though, the girls' side of the Aurora Conference has had just a ton of parity throughout the entire year. I kept, checking in on the girls that I have in class or around school, and you'd say, well, who's good? And I mean, if Hutch was hot and really flowing, all of a sudden Hutch was at the top of the region, and then you always have Valdez always around in athletics, both basketball and volleyball. So been a lot of parity, and there'll probably be some more tonight as number 1 takes on number 4. And Dwight will take over as after Midway is in commentary with your play-by-play.
All right, thanks very much, Ben. And this should be a good championship game here. Sure, Ben's got the starters covered for you. Of course, the Hawks in white tonight. And the Buccaneers wearing black. Both have pretty much the same trim and numbers.
And neither team necessarily getting the first possession that they wanted there, but that defense, a kind of a swarm. Both teams have this swarming kind of peck at you defense, so they'll feeling each other out here.
Yeah, this is going to be a good defensive battle between these two squads. Hutchison, of course, got here by winning 2 games yesterday. That is hard to do. That is a steal by Jillian Fleming. She feeds it up to Riley King. Now Fletcher Gilbert with the shot. Rebound Rosenthal. That is a block there. Good defense by Jade Watts.
Good job by Jade, just keeping her hands up there, not drawing a foul.
The Hawks, as I said, won 2 games yesterday. They defeated Delta 42-37 in the morning, and then in the evening defeated Galena 48-45. That was the number 1 seed Galena, by the way. Buccaneers coming in as the number 2 seed, defeated Monroe 36-27. Now here is Kiana Kriska.
Have yet to see either team really get off a good shot at all, as it's just been all defense, but here might be your chance.
Here's Jillian Fleming, and that may have been blocked from behind by
Bree Major, yeah.
Thank you. You think I know everybody by now?
Yeah,
I get stuck.
It should be good for us here that I should know all the Hutch kids and you know all the Valdez, so we can fill in the gaps for each other.
I think as I had her name, I just couldn't get it out of my mouth. Passes into King. Yeah, we got all zeros on the scoreboard. No scores, no fouls. Hopefully it's not like that when this time reads 0.
It's like a little 2-1-2 defense, kind of a zone here for Hutch. You see Titus in there on number 15, Sieber. That'll be an interesting matchup to watch throughout this game. Maybe the two two bigs for it battling out there in the middle.
No question about it. Both of them have had good days yesterday. Titus averaging 13 and a half. 14 points in the morning game and 13 points in the evening game.
Yeah, I think we'll see both of them no matter what at the end of the tournament, probably on the all-tournament team.
Yeah, that's something everybody's looking at now. Hopefully they don't do that after day 2, but they typically do to get the votes in early. But
so we see this good defense continuing. Most of our replays oftentimes with baskets going in. Now you're seeing just good defensive pressure.
Who can crack that egg first? Jade Watts on the dribble penetration will earn a trip to the line. Foul is called on Leah Rosenthal, her first, team's first.
So free throws will be kind of an interesting thing here. Valdez in their home gym, you always kind of like that when you go into that free throw line. It's where you practice them. But I didn't mean to jinx.
You're not allowed to do the broadcaster jinx against my Bucks. I won't do it against your Hawks if you don't do it against my Bucks.
I was promoting.
I do owe you one.
I was promoting the advantage. We'll see what the senior can do with the second. All right, so Jade will get the scoring started here.
And there's a steal by King, and now we're going to have a foul on Fleming.
I think one thing's for sure, if they continue at this defensive pace, you're going to have some sore girls tonight.
We had a substitution for the Buccaneers as Ashley Ramos checked into the game for Kylie Fletcher-Gilbert. Ramos wearing number 5. During the announcements, I neglected to mention Hunter Taylor as I was recognizing all the non-starters. So I'm going to give her a special shout out right now.
No big mistake. She's only the principal's daughter, so you didn't miss a bad one.
That's fantastic.
And you announced her freshman sisters.
Well, that's life. Huh?
It is an imperfect broadcasting world.
Yes, it is. There's a drive, Jade Watts.
I think they're going to get a charge, actually.
Yep.
The officials kind of looked at each other. One was heading to charge, but the one underneath maybe had the better angle, and he's going to call the charging call. So second team foul for Valdez. Full court pressure here from Valdez. We'll see what Hawk tries to counter with.
Tried to go for the steal on McCormick. McCormick is no stranger to steals. She's had several of them in the past 2 games yesterday. Priska on the drive. She puts it up, and she's fouled, and so she's going to come to the line.
I had mentioned during the opening there, Kriska was just red hot yesterday from behind the line. We see her here, though, on the instant replay, working underneath, and we see a lot of contact under there. Great work. I believe it's Kyle over working on our replay camera there, bringing you all those close-ups.
At the line for 2 is Kiana Kriska. Fleming. King for 3. Rebound. Majors. Feeds it up to Titus. Nice look there. Rolls off Rosenthal with the offensive rebound. Now Majors from the top of the key. Loose on the floor, jump ball.
So the iron remaining a little bit cold for both teams on that Valdez end. That was a nice pass through the zone there. Got a good look on that three-pointer on our end, on the Hutchison end. They were to pull down offensive rebound. Bree Majors had a good look. Both shots kind of just rattled in the rim a little.
Riley King getting the steal, and before it goes out of bounds, Coach Robeson jumps on the 32nd timeout. Imagine we're seeing a bit of nerves here in this championship game for both squads.
Yeah, look, a little bit on some of the passes when they're holding back a little bit. That's that I don't want to make a mistake here, and that oftentimes, unfortunately, ends up in the mistake. So, but at the same time, we're seeing a ton of hustle, maybe some of that adrenaline coming out on the defensive end. Certainly the building is pretty electric. These tournaments are so fun when they're away because all the teams are here. You know, nobody can go home. So you've got Galena sitting over here and Delta over there, and of course Valdez fans have filled it up. The Hutchison team, with all the seniors especially, the parents have traveled pretty well getting down here, as well as I kind of scan the crowd. So it's electric in here. I think none of the girls are they're all pumped up, I should say.
Absolutely. Now a little bit of full court pressure on by the Hawks as well. Bucks get it across the timeline. Riley King. I think Coach Lee wanted that double team trap in that corner there. King needs some help. Well, that's Rosenthal kind of reaching over the top there, but jump ball. And that one's going to go to Valdez.
You saw Bree Majors there tangling her up. Bree's real long. She's one of our good volleyball players as well, and she's just kind of one of those long players that when you get stuck in front of her, she's hard to pivot out of.
Yeah, I said Rosenthal. That was Majors. This one could come down to who has the fewest turnovers.
Valdez has switched their offense here a little bit against the zone, like a 1-4 here as they bring them up and then slide down.
And it goes off of her foot, backcourt. Little mistake.
Yeah, we were talking about that adrenaline. I always found as a coach, the adrenaline usually leads to good defense and sometimes shaky execution on offense.
Yeah, we're past the halfway mark of the first quarter, and we're just tied at 1 here. And that's Rosenthal on the basket.
Nice finish for Rosenthal, the sophomore, getting in early here.
And a little bit too much on that pass. Out of bounds.
That's the third time they've tried to feed that long ball through the Hutchison press. I think she's open early. They've gotten it to her a couple times. That time was a little bit late and had to sail it.
Kriska working on King. Lots of contact there. They're going to call it on the Bucks.
Yeah, we'll see it here. I think on the replay, dribbling down, you can kind of sat on your eyes. King's, it's actually number 4 that had slid over.
It's going to be her second, so she's going to check out of the game.
Yeah, I was thinking earlier there that King's really causing Kriska some problems on the defensive front, doing a good job sliding around. She's quick.
And one of the Buccaneers' key playmakers is going to have to take a seat with those 2 fouls. Checking in for her is Jade Holmes.
Again, you see King all over her. Got a call there, reaching on her. Kriska's a good ball handler, but she's not maybe exceptionally quick. So I think a quick defenseman like King, it's going to be a great matchup to watch throughout this one.
The issue there was the swat. I don't know whether she made any contact or not. That's questionable, but the official sees the swat on the reach, and that will often draw the whistle. Foul trouble for the Buccaneers. They have 5. Hutchison has only committed 1. Passes into Titus. Strip. And another jump ball. We're going to see lots of those today.
But you see both teams and how much it means they are getting on the ground early. As soon as that ball hits the ground, you're not seeing anyone do the, well, I'll back out and let you have this one, and dive right on top of each other. Get the ice ready, moms and dads.
That possession goes to the Hawks. Kriska on the shot. Sieber on the board. Now Rama pushes it up for the Buccaneers. And there's a turnover out of bounds. And so far the turnover battle is going to the Hawks.
A good collective of Valdez fans over here, kind of to our front left, kind of a collective sigh as they see another pass go out.
Oh. And Riley King takes a hard spill.
Look, maybe like her feet just got tangled going through, yeah, and kind of stuck. They changed the gym court here at Valdez. They used to have a rubber floor here, and it was actually causing a lot of problems with the knees and ankles getting stuck. And so I think it was last year they cycled that out. This hardwood's a little more forgiving, but it still doesn't feel good on the forehead.
Yeah, last year was the first year with the new floor. I think I said Riley King. That's her sister. That's actually Reese out there.
Reese in here, yeah.
That's the first time I have ever made a mistake on siblings or parents.
I believe you.
Well, that's pretty foolish of you. Titus working on Sieber. Sieber takes it away. Has it stripped from behind by McCormick. I mentioned McCormick and her steals. And jump ball goes to the Buccaneers.
And McCormick for Hutchison's that right place, right time girl. Just always seems to kind of understand where the flow of the game is going, and you can see her there getting on a loose ball.
This could come down to endurance as well. There's a shot out of bounds. Stays with the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, this is their second game of the tournament. This will be the third for the Hawks.
I think Hutch was happy to have the long wait today, you know, able to really sleep in and such, not have to get up and play an earlier game.
Ramos skip pass to King underneath to Sieber. Ramos.
There's another good three-pointer look for Valdez. The law of averages says you can keep giving them good looks like that. They're going to knock some down here.
And that's the shot that Allie Sieber wants to take right there. Score that to tie the game, and the pass is a little long for McCormick on the outlet.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Titus, we haven't seen that Titus and Sieber battle that I was talking about, but that last possession offensively for Hutch, Titus turns it over to Sieber, and then now Sieber answers here. She came over and back, didn't she? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I guess I'm not the official down here talking to Coach Robinson is saying she brought the ball over and back. I'm not.
The ball doesn't make any difference.
It's
where
a feet,
are.
right?
Yeah.
You got to be both of them or just one?
No, you can straddle the line just fine.
Yeah, I think
you're technically still in the backcourt there.
That's an unlucky break for Valdez then, because 1 foot was behind.
Yeah, you have to establish position. It doesn't make a bit of difference what the basketball is. But maybe he thought the foot was over. Tough to say. Sieber on the drive and has it stripped. Kriska feeds up to McCormick, and it's knocked away by Ramos. Took a spill there. Left side, Ramos for three. Chases down, it's McCormick. And the first quarter comes to an end.
Good for McCormick, as you see her on the screen here. She's a bit shaken up. That was kind of that loose ball pass. She got whacked pretty good, but she came running back and picked up that loose ball rebound. So the end of one, we've got ourselves a defensive, physical, aggressive battle here, just 3-3.
Well, I think that both teams here are a little bit nervous. I'm hesitant to call this strictly a defensive battle. Now, we had the game between Monroe and Eielson boys, and it was low scoring. That one certainly was a defensive battle. Very good defense on both sides. I'm not saying the defense is poor here, but we've seen a fair share of turnovers on both sides.
Well, we're going to give you a chance here to relive it via this still image. We've had photographers out taking a picture. They put together this highlight package. Let's check it out, courtesy of the stream team. All right, so teams out of the timeout here. I would have to guess both coaches probably talking offensive execution on that one. And again, statistically speaking, some of these shots that have been kind of rattling around are going to start dropping. So we'll see what they got dialed up offensively here from both teams in the second quarter.
Kriska into the corner for Majors, looking to get it inside to Titus. They do. Not sure if somebody got a hand on that one or not, but here is Fleming with the rebound. King for three. That's good. Reese King.
About the same spot she missed from earlier, right back to it, passed right through the zone, like I had said, and she knocks that one down.
Left wing is her favorite spot. It's out of bounds, stays with the Hawks.
McCormick getting a little bit of a warning here from the official. I think she mentioned something on the way by.
Well, like you said, she kind of took a spill there, so she may be a little frustrated as well. There's a tip. Kriska rounds it up for the Hawks. McCormick. Punched out of bounds by Sieber.
You have to assume out of the break here now, trying to feed Titus twice on the inside here, that's what they talked about during the quarter break there. Hasn't paid any dividends yet. We'll see if they go back to it here.
It's a long game, and Titus has had a very good tournament. And she's had a very good season. Now she gets the position. Good footwork and body movement there for Desiree Titus.
A really nice pass from Bree Majors reaching around. The post had fronted her there, and it was a good spin to get it around her. Ooh.
Holmes from the baseline. Rosenthal with the rebound. There's a steal, Jillian Fleming. And she's going to be fouled prior to the shot by Majors.
Back-to-back dicey passes by the Hutchison Hawks there. Could have easily lost it underneath.
Well, the Hawks have McCormick and the Buccaneers have Fleming. Those are the steal masters for the two teams. Got tied up there. That's a foul on Reese King. It's going to be her second. That's the team 6, so already the Hawks will be in the bonus with the next foul by the Buccaneers.
And 6-2, of course, starts to lead to some call it both ways ref from the stands.
Shot is up by McCormick. He's called for the charge.
As soon as she put it down, you knew she was going all the way to the basket, and so did the Valdez defender, and did a good job, as you saw in the replay there. Just keep your hands up, all you young players at home. It's when you start, as you mentioned earlier, when you start swiping and swinging, you're going to get a foul. But good play by the Valdez defensive player there.
Holmes on the sideline, guarded by Rosenthal. Double team now.
Bree Majors just a little late getting over out of that trap.
And Majors does get the rebound, though, off the missed shot.
Got Kriska running the wing here. She found her.
Right side is McCormick for three. Sieber with the rebound. Hey, you mentioned the foul differential, and I know that a lot of teams will kind of squawk about that, but you know, if jump ball is called. But, you know, if the officials are calling them as they see them, then it is what it is.
It is
right?
what it is. No, yeah, absolutely. We always look at the Monroe Rams boys. You know, they're constantly on a good foul thing because they execute so well. It's so clean, and it's never a knock on the officials. It's just the fact that that's where the fouls happen. I do think the officiating, which all of these officials have come out of the Anchorage region, I was told, at least on the bus coming down, has been good all weekend. Yeah, you know, you haven't heard any really huge grievances, even in the coaches' lounge.
That foul is the second on McCormick. Skip pass, I was just going to say, I'm not a huge fan of the skip passes when the defense is on it like the Hawks are right now.
You know, I think you're actually better on this 2-3 zone. I wouldn't throw the skip pass to Bree Major's side. Rosenthal on the other side, you might get away with it. She's not quite as mobile and long as Bree is.
Fleming drives the baseline. Sometimes you're going to have to attack the basket here. And now there's a takeaway. Hawks have numbers. Here comes McCormick. And some contact there. And Ramoth was not quite in position to draw the charge, she's going to pick up the blocking foul.
Yeah, I was coaching it up earlier about keeping your hands up, but that also means hands up and you can't be sliding quite as much. She just kind of slid into her there. And so to the free throw line they'll go.
One of the most misunderstood things about the charge is that the defending player can move. You can slide. You can slide sideways, forward, and backwards. It's a question of position.
Right.
And if you are not in position between the player and the basket, if you have not established that ahead of time, and you're not going to get away with any kind of movement, and that was the call there that Ashley was not in position. Raymouth to Holmes. Again, the Bucks need to start attacking here and shooting at it. There we go. Sieber gets her own rebound back, and there's an attack.
Well followed by Sieber. All games that I've been watching, I've been constantly yelling at shooters to follow their shots, and don't have to do it with Sieber there, and she's rewarded for doing the right thing basketball-wise. Follow your shots.
But you can't let down. Quickly coming the other way are the Hawks, and McCormick on the drive, and that's going to be the second personal foul on Jillian Fleming.
I have the benefit of leaving school the same time the girls start practice, and as I walk out by the gym on my way out, I'm constantly hearing Coach just scream, "Run!" And he's talking about after missed baskets, and they really practice that. Missed baskets, made baskets, run! You'll hear him yell, and they head the other way to try to catch him off guard.
Substitution for the Buccaneers. Jade Watts returns the game for Ashley Raymouth. Remember, she's playing with 2 fouls here. Hunter Taylor will check into the game for McCormick following the shot. So if she wants to stay in, she should miss. Oh, she wants to stay in the game. Watts to Gilbert. Now we're going to see the pressure here by the Hawks. Wide open underneath is Holmes. She puts it up and in.
Good couple finish as Valdez starting to finish some of these looks that they're getting. If you're Hutch, you're going to have to start answering on your own offensive end.
Fletcher Gilbert got a hand in there, and I'm not sure you can have a jump ball when, well, we have an intentional foul call here.
Oh, I don't know. You certainly can't have a jump ball here, but they're going to call an intentional foul. Oh, well, maybe you got it. I don't know if you guys held that replay. Play that one again down in the booth. If you have that one again, she had her. What happened? She ended up with her knee on it as the pileup happened, and then as the ball rolled away, and they're going to give her the flagrant.
I don't see this one. I'm sorry.
No, and you can kind of collectively hear in the stadium the boos for that call, and Coach Lee's
I didn't see a kick there.
No.
I can understand if there was a kick or a shove with the foot, but I'm not going to do any official bashing here.
No, it's
it is what it is, but I didn't see that one.
Sometimes those piles, you end up in such awkward body positions, and depending upon the angle that you're looking at it, it can be tough to see it all the way. So just one goes in, and kind of a momentum push here for the Valdez Buccaneers. They're going to bring in Hunter Taylor here, number 22 for Hutch. Going to come in. A good defensive player is Hunter for Hutch. So they're going to try to shore things up on that defensive end. We have to see if they're going to work back into Titus as they were trying to at the start of the quarter. They haven't here late. She's going to be one of the scorers. I mentioned Kriska and Titus, your 2 big scorers. Haven't mentioned their name much offensively yet.
A lot of times the officials may anticipate looking for that kind of thing late in the game when players may be getting frustrated or wound up, but not this early. And there is a steal by Kriska. She will stop and high off the glass. Here comes Fleming. She's going to push it up, but she does not have numbers. She's going to push it up anyway and score the basket.
Took it right at the slightly taller Hunter Taylor there. Good move from Valdez.
Oh, there's a traveling violation. She wanted to pass it to Titus. She wasn't looking. She kind of hesitated for a second. Reese King checks back into the game for the Buccaneers. She's in for Kylie Fletcher-Gilbert.
Be interesting to see if Coach Lee's going to want potentially a timeout here. The girls a little juiced up for the Hutch side.
I think if the Buccaneers end up scoring this possession, you'll see just that.
Good play, Rosenthal there to get her hands on Sieber.
Yeah, took a shot to the nose, it looks like, inadvertent. And she's going to have to come out. She's bleeding.
And we're going to get the ball.
It's
blood
yep.
coming out there. They'll try to get that tended to as quickly as possible if you're Valdez.
Yeah,
you don't want her spending any more time.
So obviously there was some contact there, but something inadvertent and not, obviously not called, but something that a lot of times there's contact that sounds weird, but it's not a foul.
Yeah, and I think that one, it might even been the ball coming through.
Could be. My schnoz is well aware of the fact of what a basketball can do to it.
Especially when you're wearing your glasses. Extra magnetism.
So the Leah Rosenthal is charged with her second. So both teams in the bonus for the last 2.5 of the game. And we have a whistle here. Is that a kickball? We had a kickball.
Yeah, I was looking the other way. They were trying to coordinate our halftime show for y'all. Don't leave at halftime. We got some stuff lined up for you, as I'm seeing.
Yeah, Watts too strong. So no timeout necessary here for the Hawks. They're going to try to cut into the Buccaneer lead now. See what they can do inside, see if they can take advantage of Sieber being out, although she is back at the scorer's table. Rebound comes down. Watts corrals it for the Bucks.
Yeah, potential missed opportunity. You mentioned it. That was the time to go down if you were going to go down to Titus underneath, with Sieber waiting to come back in.
Watts, I think
no, they're going to... Yeah, they're going to call it. 23 going to get called there.
That's going to be her third.
Boy, so Rosenthal will be heading out here. I think you'll see McCormick probably come back in for Hutchison. You can get some more free throws here as the scoring continues to be all Valdez here through the second quarter.
Front end, the one-on-one is missed, so Titus has the rebound. Sieber's in there is a steal by Fleming. She feeds it up to Reese King, and it did go off of Reese out of bounds.
Boy, Titus lucky to get her fingers on that. If Titus doesn't touch that, it's going to be a turnaround easy layup for King.
Substitution, Rosenthal checks out, and McCormick is back in. Majors drives the baseline, puts it up. Nope. There's Fleming. Fleming to Watts. Raymouth off the screen. It's long passes. You can hear Coach Robeson calling for patience.
Oh.
Now they're going to get King on the foul here. Oh. Yes, he was pointing at Kriska.
Going to get a flagrant the other way?
No.
It's a one-and-one.
One-and-one. The foul was called. I thought it was on Reese King for Valdez. He was pointing at Kiana Kriska. He was pointing at her to tell her to go to the free throw line to shoot the one-and-one.
Yeah, she walked over there so fast. She was the only one on that half. I thought they might have called a flagrant, but it certainly shouldn't have been. But yeah, so Kriska heads right to the line and knocked ones in. A scoring drought of about 4 or 5 minutes for Hutchison ended by a free throw here.
That's the was that the fourth personal on King, or it was the third? I think I marked that one too early. 2 for 2 for Kiana Kriska. So free throws could also loom large for these teams.
Valdez content here to set up and really let this clock run, but sometimes when you're not running your offense, you saw the earlier possession was a pass that got tipped away and into Kriska's free throws, and this one you get that kind of mistake. Sometimes maybe better just to run through your stuff.
Titus all the way over to Majors.
Boy, Bree, little waist step there.
She is determined to get that shot to work.
She's going to take it down that left baseline and score one of those.
Ramos Watts, 20 seconds in the half. Sieber has it knocked away. Fleming's got it for three. Nope. And there is, on the rebound, Taylor. Underneath, Titus. Can't get that to go at the buzzer.
She ended up directly underneath the basket, and that's an unfortunate spot to find yourself wide open because there's not a lot of ways to twist it. She does her best to try to spin it in there, but unable to get in that buzzer beater, which would have been big for the Hawks, who only score 8 points in a half. The only saving grace for them, Valdez, gets 13. So you have yourself a 5-point ball game heading to the half, and both teams plenty to talk about that. So you kept better stats than I did, I'm sure. So what do you got for scoring
I've
here?
got 3 points for Kiana Kriska, 2 for Desiree Titus, 1 for Giovanna McCormick for the Buccaneers, 3 each for Reese King and Julian Fleming, 4 for Allie Sieber to lead all scores, 2 for Jade Holmes, and 1 for Jade Watts. I think that before we go to the halftime show that you got planned there, that we will definitely see a lot more Desiree Titus in the paint down there. And for the Buccaneers, honestly, I think you're going to see the same thing on the other end. You're going to try to see Allie Sieber. The difference there is, in my opinion, that is defensively, there's a bit more height on the Hawks side to guard against Sieber on the help side. If you've got Titus matching up, you've got Taylor, you've got Majors, you've got Rosenthal, who can also put some weight on.
Yeah, and then you get McCormick can slide down really quickly to make that double team. I think they're going to if they're going to feed Sieber, she's going to get fed, and then if she's going to have to start kicking it out, and your Kings and your Watts are going to have to start hitting some of those kick out shots. Well, we got a good halftime setup for you here. Our very own sideline reporter, Alyssa Goforth, is going to take you into halftime, and she's going to throw it over to our photo highlights as well. So we're going to take a break, get a drink, and we'll send it over to Alyssa with a little sideline report.
All right, it's halftime in the championship game for the girls with the Valdez Buccaneers up 13-8. It's been a really tight, really high pressure, high intensity, very much physical game here with the girls. I think that Hutchison, if they were going to be saying anything in the locker, they'd be trying to get just their wits on end. They're just trying to get back. They've definitely made a bit of a comeback there at the end. There's a lot of close calls here, and they've really just got to kind of pump the brakes, settle down, and play their game, and I think they'll be fine. As for Valdez, they are talking phenomenally. They're moving very efficiently. They're running a high-pressure, high-intensity game, as I said before, and it's just a really great championship game to watch. I would hate to be missing it right now. Let's go into our photo slideshow.
What's up, guys? I'm Alyssa, sophomore here at Hutch. Welcome to my crib. All right, come on in, guys. Here in the Arts AV house, we pride ourselves in being the best, so we show that we're the best. And these aren't just plaques on the wall, these are cash money prizes that you can win just from coming here to Hutch and learning everything you can learn in the Arts AV cluster. We've got so many right here. That's about $1,000, probably more. Mr. Johnson's gotten 800 just by himself, not counting all the students. All right, so now we're gonna go into the first room in the Arts AV cluster and my personal favorite spot, the control room. Let's head in there. All right, so in here we've got the latest, the greatest setup. And in case you guys didn't know, we've got our very own news show, Hawk Hit News, and this is where all the magic happens. Let's check it out. Yo, this is my boy Taylor Gatto, senior here at Hutch. Taylor, what are you and Shayla working on right now?
We're just working on our Hawk Hit News program. With this system that we have here, we can do anything you can imagine, live sport broadcast. This is the same system the Miami Heat use, so you know we're top of our game.
Sounds like we're pretty set up. So not only do we have this super cool switchboard that the Miami Heat also uses, we've got this dope audio board to make sure all of our anchors and everything sound really great. As if this wasn't cool enough, let's get into the main place. Let's hop on over to the studio. All right guys, this is the main hangout, the main place where all the work gets done. Yo, we've got the coolest and the best lab set up in here, and it's all been put together by our super cool teacher, Mr. Johnson.
Yo, what's up, Alyssa? What's up, guys? Welcome to my crib. Yeah, this place is super souped up, including we got screens. 70-inch 4K screens here. MacBook Pros, not those cheap little white MacBooks. We got the MacBook Pro 13 inches there. We've got monitors in the back booths and the side booths. We got so sick of our paper bulletin board, we put monitors in our hallway. All total, 1,111 inches of just pure viewing pleasure right here in Arts AV. You can come check it out.
That's a lot. Now we're in one of my most favorite places in the entire lab, the studio. In here we've got the best cameras in the state, the best lighting system, and 20 feet of green screen. Our Hawk Hit News is filmed right here, and it's the coolest place in the entire school. All right, and if you guys really just need to sit down and grind on your work, we've got these super cool back booths with dual monitors. And here's my boy Jaden. Hey Jaden, what are you working on?
I'm just working on some logos so we can get out to the companies, make them look good.
All right, well it seems like you're doing a pretty good job. I'll let you get back to work. Here at Hutch, we use the latest and the greatest software. All the things that your favorite movies, posters, commercials were made on, we use this same editing software because we're the best. All right guys, let's head over into our equipment room. We've got everything under the sun in here. We've got microphones, we've got DSLR cameras, we've got video cameras, Canon, Nikon, Sony, we've even got freaking GoPros, and we want you to get the best hands-on experience with the greatest equipment out there. That's why you can check this out just during the school day, overnight, over the weekend, and even use them for your own personal projects. So not only do we make super cool news shows, videos, photos, and graphics in here, but we produce our very own yearbooks. And these yearbooks, they're not just your grandma's yearbooks, they're super cool and made with the highest tech software and have awesome features like augmented reality where you can use your phone to interact with the book. And let me tell you guys, it's crazy. So not only all that cool stuff, but I can graduate from Hutch with up to 9 college credits, and if I want, I can get my Adobe Photoshop certification, Premiere certification, and New Tech to lead me into a great career in the Arts AV field. I love Arts AV, and I love Hutch, and I think you guys will too. But now I'm gonna need you to get out of here because I've got to work on this super cool video, and I hope I see you guys next year right here at Hutch.
All right, back at it then after a quick break there. Hope you enjoyed some of those videos. You saw some great footage. You had a beautiful drive coming down crystal clear, snow-capped mountains. It was cold outside, but it's hot in here. Second half, here we go.
Well, the Valdez High School band just got done playing the official theme song of the concession stand, I Want Candy. There's a block by Sieber, and here comes Fleming.
Boy, Hutch excited to see that good open look, and all of a sudden it just gets blocked.
Foul trouble for the Buccaneers, however. While the Hawks committed a few fouls, they spread them out pretty well. Although Leah Rosenthal is in some foul trouble with 3. The Buccaneers have Reese King with 3, and then 3 other players with 2. So that will certainly become an issue later on. Underneath, Holmes blocked from behind.
It's almost the same look that Hutch got, a wide open layup on the right-hand side. One got blocked. That one, Bree Majors from behind. It's a little tougher to block when you're that far behind, so she'll head to the line to shoot 2.
She's pretty frustrated, and she actually did a good job of keeping her body out of play. And it was just at the hand. I'm sure she's thinking all ball there, but the call is made.
No wide receiver was never wide open. No block was ever anything but all ball. Depends on which side you're on.
I agree completely, although I think she might have a little bit of a case there, but I'm not down there on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't have the visibility of where that hand touched.
And I think she got a little bit on that one. It was a good call.
Jump ball.
No.
Nope.
She won the battle, but turned it right over. And Coach Lee, I'm sure, big inhale there. Lucky to get out of that one were the Hawks.
Bree Majors for 3. McCormick. And as the, oh gosh.
Boy, another
spill once again.
Another head hits the ground here.
And you can see both Watts and Titus immediately walking over to her. It was right on her noggin. So we will let them tend to Giovanna and just hope that she is okay.
And this is the kind of injury that when I was playing at least in 1999, they would let you get up and just shake this off, you know. But now with concussion protocols and such, the conversation becomes much more geared to player safety here. So we're hoping McCormick's okay. She's sitting up, she's talking, so she's able to shake that off. But I'm thinking you always take that head caution
there.
Yeah.
And I agree with that safety move. It's actually, you know, as a fan of football, as a fan of all sports in the past, I grew up with rugby. My dad was a rugby coach, so I've seen some gruesome stuff. But you never even thought about it before, but now that you know the facts, I'm definitely a big fan of the new safety movement, especially at the high school level.
Yeah, it was a concussion that I gave, not that I got, a concussion that I gave that ended my 8-year rugby career. I decided after seeing the kid I hit, I said, yeah, I don't want to end up on the other side of that one. So we see her walk to the bench here. She's already been through a big battle.
Yes.
And
she is such a fighter too. You hate to see it with anybody, but you know she's out there throwing her body in, putting everything out there for her Hutchison Hawks squad. So hopefully she's going to be okay. She does come to the bench. There is a steal. Here comes Brianna Majors on the drive.
And
called.
Strong move to the hoop there by Bree. We'll see if she can convert the 2 from the line here. Would have been a good swing for Hutchison Hawks to get an and one here, but if she can knock both down, at least they'll get their scoring kind of generating early here.
Hunter Taylor has checked into the game for Hutchison.
And that's a nice substitution for Hutchison. If you are going to lose McCormick, you get a similar style player in Hunter as far as good defense and really kind of a hustle player. It's not a big fall off there on that substitution.
2 for 2 for Majors. Pass over to Holmes. He puts it up underneath. Doesn't get the roll. Titus on the rebound. Hook shot doesn't go. And tied up once again. Another jump ball.
And that's one, as we see on the replay here, as that shot goes up, Hunter needs to leave her hands up here. She brings them down. Well, actually, it gets pull down. That was better defense than I thought. I thought she dropped her hands down. She actually got her, the ball was pulled down out of her hand. So good defense turnaround there for Valdez to prevent the putback for Hunter.
Jade Holmes checks out. Back into the game is Reese King, playing with her 3 fouls.
It's a travel, I believe.
It's a travel, yeah. Yeah, for the Buccaneers, when you see that trap coming and you know that it's coming, work it to the center of the floor. And keep it away from that sideline, because the defense automatically picks up an extra defender.
Yeah, just really jump on you as soon as you bring it across. Ooh, that's a tight pass right into it. There are 2 Bucks there. They're going to get number 3.
That's Reese King's 4th.
Boy, starter for the Valdez Buccaneers is going to spend some time on the bench here, picking up 4th foul, just barely past the 6-minute mark of the 3rd quarter here. Interesting, you almost trade McCormick for King again for the teams. The coach is going to earn their money on this one, and they don't earn much to begin with.
Titus up top. And she gets a screen there from Majors.
Oh,
another foul. And they have the and one, and it's a very close game now.
You've been seeing those, both Majors and Titus, when they take it into that spot, they've been going into that contact. That time she kind of falls away from it, gets up a better shot, gets the call as well. So the and one here, and you're got a chance at a 1-point ball game here.
I'm curious why the Hawks will abdicate the rebound on free throws by not having anybody on the line there. They've done that all tournament.
I ran into Coach Johnston after last night's game in the coaches' lounge, and the boys' coach for Hutchison, and I asked him why they do that, and he said, I don't know either. So nobody knows. I have to think it's so that they can get that half-court trap set up.
3-point shot for Ramoth is good.
Big answer for the Valdez Bucks there as Hutch had led the scoring here. Now the Bucks getting on the board with a big 3-pointer.
Ramoth played her freshman and sophomore years. Fouling violation is called for Kotzebue, and her family moved to Valdez, so we were able to grab her for her junior and senior years.
And we see Majors try that left-hand baseline again.
Fletcher Gilbert back to Watts. Pass inside Siebert. I'd like to see her just put that on the floor and make a drive to the hole, but
she had space there with Titus, and I think you're right. If she's if it's one-on-one down there on a block, if she just takes it to it, I think if nothing else, you're going to get a foul.
And otherwise, if you are going to pass, get that ball down and go around with a bounce pass instead of trying to get it over the tall player. Ramoth is going to be bumped there by Kriska. And it's just her second, just the team's second of the half.
I think if you're a Hawks fan, you're used to hearing a little more out of Kriska when you watch these in-game broadcasts. She's usually shooting and scoring, stealing and such. She's been a little bit quiet for Hutchison High School.
Ramoth skip pass to Watts. And Ramoth, again, it's that swatting motion.
Yeah, being long is a big benefit for Bree Majors, but it also is a big red flag if you start swinging it around. It's an easy to see, an easy call here for the officials, and a line to shoot 2 is going to be Watts. You know, thinking about Kriska and how she's been a catalyst for the team throughout the season, it's hard to be a catalyst when you've got the defensive presence of some of these Valdez Buccaneers defenders, Watts and King on you. It's a little bit tough to be as influential.
These two teams have met during the regular season. They've been good games. I believe the Buccaneers came away with the victories in those cases. I think we may have
they split them.
Okay,
yeah,
split.
They split up in Fairbanks, and it was only 10 days ago maybe.
Yep.
So they're accustomed to each other.
There's that drive. That's what Titus needs to do. If she doesn't get the shot, she will frequently get the foul. That is the second personal on Allie Sieber. 2 shots coming for Desiree Titus.
Saw some girls. It was a mixture of team girls down here, but Titus was one of them that was shooting free throws yesterday, just trying to get accustomed to the line and the lights and everything. once the games were all over.
That's smart. 'Cause she knows she's going to spend a lot of time there.
Yeah.
See if the Buccaneers can set up maybe some high screens to open up some dribble penetrations. And to get steal from Bree Majors instead. It's, right off the noggin, out of bounds. That's a good soccer play, but
Duly unlucky here because the pass both off the head and then Hunter Taylor, it's kind of coming to her here. We see on the replay. That's enough of that one, guys. Yep. And Hunter just not able to corral that one.
Okay. they do like showing that one over.
Well, that's twice was enough. Thank you, Estelle, down in the booth. Good job keeping her pivot foot there, did 4 Watts.
Yep. A little bit of frustration here because the Hawks stretched defense is being effective. They're preventing those easy passes, the longer ones anyway. And the Buccaneers inside. Well, cross inside anyway. Trying to see what it is that they're working here. There's a drive. Watts is just going to take over and try to make something happen. That's the kind of player she is, and that's her and Kriska are similar in that vein.
Yeah, she's able to get that quick left step and you dribble into the zone there.
Fouls on Desiree Titus. That's just her first. Team's fourth. Both teams with 4 team fouls in this half.
You know, Hutch at one point had worked that thing all the way back to just a 1-point deficit, and then off that 3-pointer got things going for Valdez. It's been all Valdez. They're back up by 7.
2 for 2 for Watts. Everything but that 3 has come from the charity stripe in this quarter.
So we're going to get double dribble or travel. Yeah, Kriska losing her handles on it there. You can see the frustration on her face there on your camera. She's a gamer though.
There's a long way to go in this game.
She's had tough outings before, and she can really rally and get things going. She's the main reason they beat Galena yesterday, and it started about this time in that game, about into the third quarter, that she got hot.
Really like to see the Buccaneers make, there's a good pass, but get their passes a bit more crisp. And there is, they've opened up Ashley Ramos. It's her second 3 of the game.
Boy, and you go from 1 down to 11 down just in the blink of an eye with a couple 3-pointers and some free throws. Hutchison, you know, you certainly still have time here, but at the 2-minute mark, you want to see some productive offense anyways.
Raymond can be a streaky shooter. Sometimes she can get off to a slow start and maybe not want to start again, but when she does get going, she can be on absolute fire. Now that she's hit a couple, she could be dangerous. Fleming's going to take the 3. Long rebound. Kriska's got it.
Kriska was looking to come out of there and run, kind of got an off bounce, so the fast break opportunity was lost there.
Got Desiree Titus up high. She's just going to go for the dribble penetration. She does, trying to draw the foul. Doesn't get it. Here is Fleming on the rebound. She's going to push up. She's going to want to maybe get it to Sieber. She's going to take the shot and put it in. The defender kind of lagged off of her, anticipating the pass.
Yeah, she kind of ended up in that in-between zone, not covering either girl. It was a tough spot, though, on that 2-and-1. Fleming did well with it.
And that's just, that's a good no whistle there, I think. Watts just tripped over the foot of the stationary Rosenthal. There's pass up to Sieber, taken away, and there is Bree Miller.
Oh, she got run over there.
Yes, she did. They're going to get that on Sieber on the foul here, I believe.
No.
Oh, no, just out of bounds. I thought maybe it was already out of bounds by the time they tripped each other up.
Must have been, because he's walking away from it.
Yeah.
So It's continuing as it started. Bodies on the floor. It's championship basketball. These girls are laying out. You can't fault any effort on either side, that's for sure.
Honestly, this is kind of like the old days for the Buccaneers and the Hawks. Two teams that respect each other quite a bit, but they are often physical games. And there's a three-point shot. There's the answer from Brie Larson.
Good shot from Brie there, but they don't.
Allie Seaver wide open.
That might be the answer why they don't cover the free throws if they're not good at getting back. That was untimely for the Hutchison Hawks to just let her run right through.
Rosenthal with the shot at the buzzer, not going to go, and the third quarter comes to an end. Buccaneers opening up a 27-15 lead, but that's only a 12-point game, and there are still 8 minutes to go in this one.
Yeah, I think you saw it early in that third quarter that they can get going. We're going to take a minute here before we get into this fourth quarter here to show you a little bit of our production, though, as we get down to our booth. We've been here now. This is, I don't know, game 13. It was 9 a.m. to 10 o'clock last night, but you can see our setup here on your left. That's the graphics and photos being put together as your scoreboard. That's Estelle Halbrooks, the club president, running instant replay and switching all between our 4 cameras for you. She's got split screens. We've got everything you need down there. We got graphics. I've seen a lot of you sending in your text messages. We're doing our very best to give you the feeling of what it's like here. It's intense, it's exciting, and there's lots to see. So we hope that you're enjoying watching. And if you want to remember that third quarter, how about we take a look at some of those photo highlights that our team put together for you. Yeah, appreciate that. I think I saw Laura there was the girl taking all those photos. Some of those photographs will be available for you online on the hhsstreamteam.com website. The video replays of these games will not be immediately available, mainly because one of these teams, whoever wins this one's heading to state, and we don't want to give an unfair advantage to all those Anchorage teams, giving them free looks at our players. So we'll put them on after the state championship.
That's a pass intended for Titus, a little bit too far in front of her, out of bounds.
That was a good inlet pass, just didn't quite bounce it at the right angle. It came off kind of flat. Titus couldn't get her hands down to it.
Watts up to Fletcher Gilbert. Keeps the ball moving. That's what you want your point guard to do, is to keep the ball moving. And so you've seen so many times. And timeout, Valdez. You see so many times where the point guard will get across the timeline and then stop and try to set up their offense. Keep the ball moving. That's something that Jade Watts does very well for the Buccaneers also. And I think you can say the same for Kiana Kriska.
So Robinson wants a early timeout here. It'll be interesting to see how these timeouts play. As you mentioned kind of earlier, Hutchison High School they played 2 games yesterday. You don't play a lot of double headers in basketball ever. So 2 games yesterday. They've been sleeping on classroom floor for 2 nights. So fatigue you have to know is going to play, especially in a physical game like this. Valdez, meanwhile, had the 1 game yesterday. Took care of business, got themselves here, and they've been sleeping at home and had that home cooking. So I think if you're Hutchison High School, you can't wait for this thing to happen late in the game because your legs are going to continue to give way. This is going to be the push. I think maybe kind of lucky here for Hutch to get an additional timeout of rest here, and we'll see if they can make a push. They need to push early here, I think.
I don't think the Coach Robeson wanted that timeout. I think he kind of had to take it to maintain possession, as Ashley Ramos got trapped in the corner down there. Hawks in that 2-3. And it's they got a wall. Actually, they may be a 3-2. With Titus glued to Sieber. There's a drive there by Watts, and that was, I think, blocked by Titus. Sieber gets it back. They're going to call the jump ball there. The ball was kind of loose, but I think that the official may have seen things getting a little wild, so calls the jump ball there. Now
remember that play, that's a hustle play by Sieber. Titus had that rebound, but was kind of lackadaisical with it, and it's Sieber hustling back. That's a big-time play there. Keep that possession.
3-point shot by Watts doesn't go. Can't chase it down. Back to the Hawks.
Just as we're taking note, and I know a lot of you fans at home, there's 111 computers tuned in, so probably 150 or so people. McCormick is on the bench and down near the substitution area. Whether she'll get back in or not, we don't know.
Yeah, hopefully she's perfectly fine. And whether she comes back in or not, hope she's able to.
Fifth time's not a charm for Majors. We see her again, left hand down that left baseline. It's not gone so far.
The Hawks have a stranglehold on the key at the top of the key there on Sieber. Anything the Buccaneers try to do, whether it's to get it to Sieber or to dribble penetrate, that is a tough nut to crack there.
So Lee just barked out, put the Hawks into a new defense, knowing that 2-3 is not going to do well if they try to delay up high. It looks like he got him in man-to-man now.
Good call. Not saying that the Buccaneers are in delay mode at this point in the game, where they can certainly afford to a little bit here, but I just don't think that they were having a lot of time. That's a 5-second violation.
Yeah, that's a 5-second violation. He had her backing off for 5. I didn't keep count. I wasn't counting in my head.
I think that's what Coach Robinson was saying, was that she backed off, but I don't know. I think maybe the defender stuck with her, and that's what got the violation.
I can tell you Majors is not one to usually back off.
There's Rosenthal, the missed shot, and Fleming's going to push it through the double team. Lays it up too strong, and it is Taylor with the rebound.
Fleming can absolutely scoot. The track season about to start. I think she should be on that track team.
And there's a foul called on Fleming. I don't know about that one.
That's the one maybe you were talking about earlier, which is I don't know that her feet were set, but I do think the position was potentially established there. So a break here for Kriska at the line, and takes advantage of the first one of her 2. Now into the game, Peyton Taylor, freshman for the Hutchison Hawks, checking in. You have to think a little bit of a defensive move here because Peyton is quick as well. So you have to think Coach Lee seeing a little bit of need for pressure here out of the young freshman.
The lead is 11 with still a load of time left in this game, 5:22. Fleming, well, she's not sure if she's quite ready for that, but she takes it. Watts calling out what she wants. There's a kick ball.
I don't know if they do a defensive MVP or not, but Bree Majors has just been all over the place on this one.
Just getting ready to say, Bree Majors is a tough player to get the ball around. Yeah, there's a errant pass there. Titus picks it off. Majors has it now. Now an opportunity along 2 that is good for the player just in the game, Peyton Taylor.
Now, don't underestimate something there, which is you see a freshman come in the game and knock down a shot when nobody else can. You get a little bit of a burst, and you're going to get an over and back turnover for Hutchison High School, 9-point ball game.
Looks a bit like the first quarter. Bucks may be a little bit rattled, so this is a timely timeout here. Full timeout for Valdez.
I like this timeout if you're Valdez, because you felt Hutch, the girls are jumping up and down. All of a sudden the shoulders that were starting to sag, now they're up and excited. So you get on it right away. Coach Robinson take that timeout right away. Coach Lee, though, as you can see him here just talking to his assistant coach, he's playing the other side of the coin, which is, I don't got a lot to tell you guys. Here we go. He'd bring a lot of confidence in that way as well. Very experienced coaching there.
Well, the Buccaneers have yet to score in this fourth quarter. They're still in the third quarter score of 27, and we're almost halfway through the fourth quarter. 3 points scored for the Hawks.
Now you'd think 4:42 left. Reese King, you would guess, will be re-emerging here from her 4-foul sit-out.
Looks like she is, too.
So they get her in the game. Have to, I would guess as a starter, you would know more than I do that she's probably ran these sets with the starters a little bit more and been in a few more of these experiences. So we'll see if she can make a difference here. She should have the pretty freshest legs out there on the court. So see if she can make a difference here to stymie Hutchison little run here.
Got the normal starters here for the Buccaneers. Hawks will not be able to do that with Ivana McCormick out. But you make adjustments as you go on. Majors. Kriska looking to get it to Titus. Nice help defense there. Another two-point shot is up, doesn't go. And that's
Timeout? No, didn't take a timeout.
And then Sieber with that.
Another Hutch shooter finds himself in just a bad position, got herself too far underneath the backboard there.
You saw Titus come down with the rebound and slide on the floor. A lot of people were wanting the traveling violation. The truth is she didn't make a basketball move. You can, if it were possible, slide from one end of the floor to the other with the ball, and it's not traveling. It's about whether or not you make a basketball move. Ramos, yeah, tries to get it to Watts, taken away by Majors, and Watts gets it right back. And now Watts will set up and control. She gets herself in that corner, though. Works her way out. That stretch defense by the Hawks is effective. But nice work there by Jade Watts to get it back under control for the Buccaneers. That issue all started when Ramos called for Watts. She was calling for help. Watts thought she was calling for a screen. She was unprepared to receive it back. But we're back underway here. Now we're seeing a bit of a stall game by the Buccaneers for sure as we cross the 3-minute mark. Now Coach Lee is calling for the defense to come out. Try to force something. There's a drive. And there's a shot by Sieber.
You see Fleming there again, just really scooting by, and that the finish was good, but the pass I think was better. But Peyton Taylor on the other side, go ahead, Fresh Fish, knock one down.
Back to an 11-point game. They had Sieber underneath all alone there briefly, didn't get it there. Content instead to try to drain some clock, but you got to remain aggressive. It's just an 8-point game.
Yeah, that's
there's a lot of time left here.
You don't want to take bad shots, but free ones I think you want to take.
Fleming on the drive, splits the double team. Jillian Fleming making it happen for the Buccaneers. If anybody's going to stay aggressive on the Bucks, it will be her. Pass inside to Titus. Sieber lucky she did well and called for that one instead. Just about to say, she's lucky that she didn't get called for a foul.
Yeah, yeah.
The sentence, she gets called for a foul.
Yeah, this is an opportunity if you're Hutch, you know, no clock or the clock's not running here. Get yourself to the free throw line to cut into this gap. It's 10 points on the almost at the 2-minute mark here. These one will be important.
It's just calm.
And that's why you go shooting, kids. Late at night, you got access to a gym that you haven't been in before. Go put a few in from the line.
So she shoots from her legs, and that's just a really nice looking free throw motion there. 2 for 2 for Titus. And the Bucks cannot afford to throw it away here. It is knocked out of bounds by the freshman, Taylor.
Boy, almost a break there for Valdez. I think that one might have been going out of bounds no matter what. And Peyton, just playing aggressively, jumps up and hits it herself. But I think if she'd not touch that one, it might have come down out of bounds.
Passes into Ramos just before the 5-second mark. Now King has it, playing with those 4 fouls, but she's going to be fouled there. She is a comforter for the Buccaneers. Just a sophomore is Reese King, but she has become a team leader very, very quickly on this squad. It's the 3rd personal on Kiana Kriska. Jade Watts is the senior. She is the leader of the team right now. I'm sure that's something. There's a nice pass to Sieber, but an even better block there from Titus.
Take it all the way, you might as well.
And there's a strip from Ramos.
That's a right move by Titus.
That's going to be the 4th on Kriska. So the next foul by Hutchison will put the Buccaneers in the bonus. The Bucks do have 1 to give.
That's strong defense there by Raymond. You know, Titus does the right thing. You're on a fast break, take it right to the hoop. Does well to just strip it right away from the experienced Titus.
Passes into King. Now that the Bucks are across the timeline, the clock is the Buccaneers' friend right now. And I think she got fouled there. And that's going to put Reese King at the line. Brianna Majors picks up her 4th.
It'll be interesting to see if Lee changes the defensive assignment for Majors here now with 4 fouls, and you're going to be fouling. You don't want Majors to foul out. She can. She's a good 3-point shooter. Speaking of, there's Kriska, but not able to get it off.
Titus has it. She'll take the long 2. Rosenthal with the rebound. She puts it back up. Not there. Sieber has it. Now Fleming will take her time. If you're a Buccaneer fan, Jillian Fleming's one that you might want on the free throw line. And but a little surprised we're not seeing some fouls here by the Hawks. And there it is. Oh, it is
that's
Kriska.
going to be.
That is not
going to get her on it.
Who they wanted. A little bit of a shove. I think they got a little bit of forgiveness there on the intent. I'm happy to not see an intentional there.
Yeah.
I mean, by the letter of the law, maybe, but you know, everybody understands the situation.
Yeah, she already had her flagrant, so.
Yeah. And that one was questionable, so maybe it evens out. Actually, I don't even think it was questionable. But anyway, there's our
big free throw for the Bucks here. Ashley Ramos had herself really a nice game here.
Yeah, that's just senior nerves right there. 2 for 2 for Ashley Ramos. Makes it a 10-point lead here with 30 seconds to play in this championship game. Titus is going to launch a 3. Oh, that looked good from here. Sieber has the rebound for the Bucks.
A 10-point lead, 20 seconds left, and Lee's going to call the dogs off here. Told them to come back. I'm sure they'll steal if they can get one, but looks like they're not going to foul. And that's going to be quite the win in their own home gym. The Valdez Buccaneers. It was a battle through and through, and they're going to take this 10-point advantage here, and they're going to be your Aurora Conference champion.
Jade Watts is going to hold on to the ball, the senior, and the Valdez Buccaneers are the Aurora Conference Tournament champions. And final score is Valdez 33 and Hutchison 23. And I'll go through the stats here in just a minute, but boy, I'll tell you what, the Hutchison Hawks coming in here as the number 4 seed prove that they belong in this championship game.
You know, after 2 tough games yesterday, beat the number 1 seed, get yourself into a real dogfight, a real physical battle here. You lose McCormick, you get Peyton Taylor coming in. I mean, there's nothing that can fault the effort from the Hutchison Hawks here. And they're not done in their hopes for the state tournament. For those of you that are wondering what this all means, first and second place here in the Aurora Conference get to go to the state tournament. So Hutchison will play again tomorrow. I'll have to look the times up here for you real quick. But Hutch will play again tomorrow. If they can win that one, they're going to be in, and even if they don't, there's even an at-large bid that can potentially go. So yeah, that Hutchison game will be tomorrow at 5 o'clock for all of you Hutchison Hawk fans that want to see if they can punch their ticket to state. And if they have the same heart they had in this one, I think there's a promising look that they'll get there.
Absolutely. I think they got a great shot at it. They'll have to play against the winner of Galena Monroe, so Hutch will have all day tomorrow to rest, and meanwhile Galena and Monroe will have to play a game in the morning.
Another doubleheader for one of those teams to try to get to state, so Hutch will get the better end of the doubleheader action on this one.
And that's going to be a good game.
That would be, yeah. If you want to see a real interesting game too, wake yourself up Saturday morning, turn the cartoons off, and tune it to us, and you can watch Galena play Monroe. That's going to be a heck of a game. So did you total up your stats?
I got the stats right here.
All right, we're going to get some stats.
For Diana Kriska, she leads the Hutchison Hawks with 7 points. 6 points from Desiree Titus, 5 each for Brianna Majors and Peyton Taylor, 2 for Leah Rosenthal, and 1 for Giovanna McCormick. For the Buccaneers, they were led by 2 players with 8 points, Ashley Ramos and Allie Sieber, each with 8, 7 for Jillian Fleming, 4 for Jade Watts, and then 3 each for Jade Holmes and Reese King. And so with that, Valdez Buccaneers have punched their ticket to state, and the Hutchison Hawks will fight on tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock. For the boys, the next game, you want to introduce our next game?
No, you go ahead. You got that one.
All right. In that case, we got the boys' championship game coming up. You can see them on the floor warming up. And this is the Eielson Ravens and the Valdez Buccaneers. And Buccaneers hoping, obviously, for the sweep here at home. But this is going to be a tough game. Eielson Ravens has been playing very well recently, and they defeated Monroe in a close one yesterday, 39-35. But I think that's going to do it for us here.
Yeah, we have down on the floor, if you wanted to talk to one of your Aurora Conference champions, you're going to get a chance here as our own Alyssa Goforth has number 4, Jade Watts, on the floor for you. So here's our sideline
All right,
interview.
I'm here with senior Jade Watts from the Valdez Buccaneers. Jade, how do you feel about that being your last ride region champ?
I feel pretty good about it. We worked really hard throughout the season, so it's a big payoff after all that hard work.
I know you guys went back and forth with Hutch a couple times this season. What do you think really pushed you to win this game tonight?
Just mentality, working hard. We had a lot of motivation because we're a really small team, so we have to work pretty hard to get where we are now.
And what's one thing you think really helped you guys through this season? Like, you weren't necessarily as consistent as you were in years past. What do you think is the biggest thing that you improved on this year?
Mostly just not being lazy. Our coach makes us get after it, so we work hard on and off the court always.
All right, well, thank you. Good job and good luck at state.
Thank you.
All right, and we're going to send it over now. We got that final photo highlights for you. We're going to send things off. Last recap of the game. Here you go, and stay tuned for the next boys championship.